The single best investment you can make happens to be real estate.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. So here's the deal. This is a MarketWatch.com article. Look at that. We're veering away. We've got some Inman articles,
You
but
seem so
we're
animated
leading
today. You feeling good? You're
I'm
all
feeling
juiced
good.
up. You got like your
I'm
your
juiced up. I'm
jacket
watered
on.
up. I got my jacket on
You're
today.
doing it. Look at you. Okay.
New me, no, I'm not doing like the New Year resolution jacket thing. I have a meeting after this that requires.
Well, I feel like your New Year's
jacketing.
resolution should be a new jacket.
No,
This is the
no,
same
no,
jacket.
no. This is a new one.
It is?
Yes,
It
I
looks
have
very similar.
I have multiple blue and blackish. My other one has like purple. No, that's not purple.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Anyway.
this is a Market Watch article. We're still going to do a ton of Inman articles, but we're leading off the decade and New Year with a Market Watch article from my friend and your friend, Pat Kenny.
Oh, he sent it to you?
Yeah. If you're a 5 a.m. call member, you know who Pat is. Anyways, Pat sent me this, and Market Watch referenced a bank rate survey, which surveyed more than 1,000 investors, and overwhelmingly, by a large margin, the question was, which one of the following do you think would be the best investment? Stocks, bonds, real estate, cash, gold, metals, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. By a large margin, real estate was the winner.
And in what context? Rentals, holding, buying, fixing, selling? Does it give any?
I don't think they broke it down like that.
They're just saying
talking,
it's a good investment.
They're just talking buying
it'll
real
hold its
estate as a
value.
whole. Hold its value. They're referencing the Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index. They're talking S&P. Here's a graph right here that Suave's going to put up, and it says basically how well stocks have performed against real estate, right? So U.S. stocks have outperformed real estate from 1980 to 2018 overwhelmingly. As well as your
that says
annualized,
1890.
1890. Sorry,
yeah, I was gonna say, man,
a little,
it's like
little flip there.
It's like, yeah, I mean, 1890 is huge. I mean, that's like it's like older than my house.
And so here's the deal. Typically, if you go over long periods of time like that, if you follow the last 50 years of the stock market, you're going to get over 6 to 7% in the stock market if you just play the market, right?
Right.
And so over long periods of time, and this is what Pat, financial advisor friend of ours, would argue, is that in the long run, you're going to win with stocks over real estate any day. And there's so many different variables. To your point, well, not if you're crushing it on Airbnbs, maybe. It can be a variable that can change things or whatever. And that's what this graph shows you. But what these investors are saying, if we're just looking at the next 10 years, they believe that the stock market is so high right now that it can only go one place, that a stable place to put your money is going to be in real estate. Now, that won't work out if there's a pullback in real estate values over the next 10 years. They've got to be looking at a real estate market over the next 10 years that is either growing in sales price or flat. Right?
Yeah. Come to Connecticut.
To Connecticut.
We're flat as heck here.
We just did our market update from 18 to 19. It was pretty flat.
We are flat here. Now's the time, although inventory is like, Vink.
What do you think, though, over the next 10 years, how safe of an investment is real estate going to be?
I mean, I always feel like real estate is safe as long as it's a long-term investment. I mean, I always tell my buyers, like, if you're buying this and then you're going to be selling it in 2 years, no matter, I feel like, what the climate is. I mean, obviously, that 05, 06 sort of bubble was an exception to the rule most of the time, but I always think that real estate is the right investment, in my opinion. I mean, we actually had this conversation the other night because I have a rental property, but not on purpose. And you were trying to get me to sell it this year, and my husband and I were arguing that we're not like the best savers. So it's sort of like a forced savings account too.
For you guys,
yeah. So I always sort of believe in real estate. I'm not someone that puts money into the stock market. I don't know it well enough. I feel like I don't even have the brain capacity to like figure it out. So I'm always a believer in the real estate market.
Yeah, to your point, if you're
especially with rates right now, I mean, it's pretty much free.
Yeah, if you're investing in the stock market and you're picking stocks, then you have a really high chance to lose, right? Like the Case-Shiller index has been less volatile than the stock market by 40%, right? So if you're just trying to pick stocks, you're probably going to lose on those individual picks. But if you're playing the market over time and you're not going to take it out, you're not going to pay penalties, you're just going to leave it in there and forget about it, you can win. But to your point, real estate's real. It's tangible. People need a place to live.
Right.
And if you're going to manage the property, you can have a forced savings account that can, pay you over time.
Right.
Here's my thought. I think that this is not a racket. I mean, it was an overwhelming response. 1,000 investors that know way more than I do, or
Right.
Maybe some of them, most of them.
Should.
Right. I don't think it's a racket just because people are going to pull their money out in 2020 and 2021 that had significant gains in the stock market, and look, whether it's real estate or something else, look for something more stable. That is going to happen.
And I do think that I feel like you and I could probably see that too in some of our higher end luxury properties that we're now selling. I mean, people are, with wealth are certainly feeling confident enough in the real estate market to make these big purchases, I feel like, this year. So
in this article gets
interesting
into
to see what other people think.
Some good stuff here, talking inflation, and there's all kinds of variables, ways to skin this cat, but we'll link that up for you guys to check out.